Some leaders have said that physical presence enhances team dynamics, facilitates better communication. They also say managing remote teams is harder, trackability is harder, accountability is harder, seeing what people get up to harder. And the ultimate argument is, how do we maintain company culture if people are not in the office? If you've got great skills, if you've got a great network, if you've got wonderful expertise, if you're very, very valuable in the talent marketplace, your firm will do everything they can to want to keep you and give you work on your terms. Is it time to rethink the workplace for accounting firms? There's a mandate to return to the office. I'm Rob Brown. This is the Accounting Talent Podcast. Let's dip into this question. Have we seen the death of remote work as companies are demanding employees return to the office, or is this a short-sighted reaction to a changing workforce? There's been a few news stories recently, so we're going to dive into this topic. Solo episode from me. My co-host, Jeff Phillips, he's going to be back next week. So yes, this is a hot topic. It's causing waves across industries worldwide. Another recent article on startups.co.uk revealed 10 big UK companies, apply to the country of your choice, that are facing similar pushback as workers are prioritizing comfort, mental well-being, convenience, the ability to balance professional and personal lives, and they're forgoing traditional office perks to maintain those things. And the trend is shaping the world. So why are companies pushing for this return? What is behind their thinking? I mean, it looks flawed now looking at the backlash, but very important people, very smart brains have got together and said, let's get everyone back to work, and this is the way we're going to do it. So what is their rationale? Well, there is a belief that in-person collaboration, having people in the office, rubbing shoulders, swapping ideas, it boosts creativity and innovation. There might be something to be said for that. Some leaders have said that physical presence enhances team dynamics, facilitates better communication. They also say managing remote teams is harder, trackability is harder, accountability is harder, seeing what people get up to harder. And the ultimate argument is, how do we maintain company culture if people are not in the office? So all of these have some merit, but not overwhelming merit, and not in transparently. Be really open about it. We've had horror stories about this news, this call to arms, get back into the office, coming out in all different ways. So engage in an open dialogue with your employees. We've had a recent episode of this Accounting Talent Podcast on the power of surveying your employees and asking them how it's going and what they need to do their work and how they're feeling about things. So understanding their concerns, their preferences, getting a feel for what the reaction might be before you launch any edict to come back to work. And that will manage the gap between the management's expectations and the employee's needs. Number 3, offer flexibility. If the return to the office is necessary, there's a lot of different ways to get people to return to the office: hybrid models, staggered schedules, remote work days, lots of ways of carving that up. Number 4, enhance remote work support. The tech is so important. There's accounting tech and there's work tech. There's so many good tools now, so many ways to meet, collaborate, run projects, do checklists, deal with clients. There's so many ways to do that now remotely. So invest in the tools, invest in the resources, invest in the emotional and mentoring support remotely. It can all be done so that all employees feel included and valued and part of the brand. And number 5, we said to leaders, focus on the outcomes and shift the focus from hours worked to work done and outcomes achieved, and measure performance more on results than a physical presence. It's not necessary in today's day and age. And a message too for accounting professionals that might be facing pressure to return to the office. What are you going to do now? What's at stake for you? So it's important that you communicate your value. So highlight how productive you've been, the contributions you've made, the relationships you've got, all while working remotely. You might be a leader. So how are you managing your team remotely? How are you keeping them accountable? How are you driving culture? How are you setting good examples? And any data examples you've got to support your case, then that strengthens your position to work how you like. Second thing is to propose solutions. So your management might come to you with, this is how we want it done. But if you want to make the case for something else, Don't just say, I don't want to do that, but say, here's what I propose. And let's try this and see if it works. So this is going to meet your needs, the firm's needs, it's going to meet my needs. Let's at least trial this and see if it works and decide on criteria that you're going to measure that by. And number 3 recommendation for employees being asked or demanded to come back to the office is be open to a compromise. Show your willingness to adapt. And flexibility, it's a buzzword, isn't it? You want to maintain your work-life balance. They want you back in the office. Where's a little bit of movement on both sides? So yes, compromise, a win-win. 4th is invest in your skills. So I talk in my book, I'm holding it up here for the video, Build Your Reputation. This is on Amazon. It's a book with Wiley, the business publishers. And in that I talk about career capital, which is what you build up to trade for work on your terms. So if you've got great skills, if you've got a great network, if you've got wonderful expertise, if you're very, very valuable in the talent marketplace, your firm will do everything they can to want to keep you and give you work on your terms. So invest in your skill, keep them updated. And technological skills, technical skills, selling skills, persuasion skills, presenting skills, people skills, regardless of where you work, your skills keep you relevant, they keep you competitive. And this is above any CPE, CPD, technical qualifications, which keeps you in the game. And the 5th thing I'd say to you is prioritize your well-being. Without your physical or mental health, nothing else in life has much flavor. So that's got to be a priority for you, and ensure that any work arrangement supports you, your family, your health, your happiness, your well-being, because when that goes, all your relationships, your interaction is the word I'm looking for with clients, that suffers, doesn't it? So handling a hybrid workforce, you leaders, you've got to avoid the one-size-fits-all policy. You've got to get the technology going for you. You've got to foster a strong culture wherever it is. You've got to provide training and support. You've got to listen to your employees. The jury's back in on this one. Jeff Phillips has a lovely phrase. He said, the talent war is over and talent won. So if talent is a battleground, and we all know that any firms with growth aspirations need to increase headcount and increase capacity. And above all, you need to retain the staff that you've already got. So pushing them to return to the office, it's complex. I completely get that. I met with a firm just recently. I was chairing an international accounting conference, and he said, our policy is that everyone that joins us comes to the office. Fine. If you can do that, if you can drive that strong culture, if you've got enough people in the talent pool that are geographically close enough to come into the office every day, great. There might not be enough accountants around where your firm is based. But this is a time for mediation, for diplomacy, for harmony, for finding the common ground, and recognize, all of us, that the future of work in accounting everywhere is being redefined. Those that embrace flexibility, compassion, innovation, technology, they will survive. They will thrive. They will stay relevant. They'll stay competitive. If your firm wants to stay independent, great. That will help you do that. If your firm is looking for private equity or some kind of M&A, then that's going to help you too. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is the Accounting Talent Podcast. I'm Rob Brown. If this is a show that you're interested in sponsoring and getting out to our audience with what you do in the accounting talent world, then have a conversation with us. I hope today's episode has been valuable for you in navigating a little bit more of the aspects of the return to work mandate. Until next time, stay competitive, stay relevant, stay informed.